Hi guys, welcome to my channel Happy High Tarot. I'll get to today's reading in a while, but first, a big shout out to my sponsor Keen, the largest network of psychic advisors that's out there. Their advisors are available 24/7, so you'll always find someone to talk to. You can ask about love, relationships, career, personal growth, and anything else that you need help with. I had consulted a keen advisor some time back through a live chat, and a lot of what she told me made perfect sense. Their responses are so prompt, you guys. My reading lasted for a little over 10 minutes, and in that duration itself, she had already answered 7 to 8 questions of mine. It's very easy to get a reading on Keen, by the way. You just have to open an account, choose an advisor based on your concern, select whether you wish to connect via chat or call, and that's it. As a first time user, Keen is offering you the first 5 minutes of a reading for just $1. Use the link in my description box, trykeen.com/happyhightarot to connect with a Keen advisor today. In today's pick a card reading, we will find out how and when are you going to meet your future spouse. You can see an image on your screen right now. You've got 3 options to choose from. Feel free to pause the video over here, meditate on all your options, pick whichever one calls out to you the most. You'll find the timestamps in the comment section as well as in the description box below. So make your choice and let's get started. Hello group 1, if you guys chose the first image, let's find out how and when are you going to meet your future spouse. I have done a reading before this on who will you marry, who is your future spouse. The link is in description. You can check that out as well. So let's start by taking a look at your oracles. We have shadow, beneath the surface, that says hidden truths, something unknown, and we have coming to life. All right, I think that this is the group of people who, whether you take personal readings or whether you go to general readings on Instagram or YouTube, the one thing that you always hear is that it's meant to be a surprise for you, which is true. Because look at this, I've used different decks and 2 different decks over here are giving us the same message. This is the moon's energy, talking about things that are not yet revealed to us, and then over here also it says hidden truths and something unknown. So it's very interesting, but the thing is that the tip of the iceberg is outside. So I feel like group 1, you have this feeling, and especially because the moon is aiding your energy today, I feel like intuitively you know that it's just right around the corner. Your future spouse is not that far off now, but the exact details of it, they're just not making sense to you. You know that the puzzle is about to be completed, but where the hell is that last piece of the puzzle? You don't know. The good news over here is that although what's hidden from you might be irritating you right now, but the truth is that behind the scenes, this connection, this lifelong connection that you will be sharing with your future spouse, it is sprouting. It is coming to life. In fact, with the moon over here, with the shadow energy over here, I feel like a lot of you might already be getting very, I won't exactly say weird dreams, but it can feel like that. In common terms, it can feel like it was a very weird dream. You saw someone, you've never met that person before. You couldn't figure out where it is that you were, what, you don't even remember the kind of conversation you were having with that person. You do not remember much as soon as you wake up. But it seems like you've already had a 5D union with your future spouse, and it's just a 3D union now that remains to be seen. Somewhere with coming to life over here in shadow, I feel like the people around you at this moment, your friends, your family, your colleagues, all of them might be worrying about you, might be wondering why you're still single. In fact, it's such a stupid question, but I think this is something you get asked very often. How come you are still single? Because of course there is an energy of charisma to you, there is an energy of enigma to you, so it makes one wonder how has nobody snatched up this person yet. And I think a lot of people try to figure out what is holding you back, what are your blockages, but there is no blockage. With coming to life over here, I can see that right now you guys are hyper focused on yourselves, your career, your future. And somewhere you have this assurance at the back of your mind and somewhere deep in your heart that it'll happen. It's meant to happen, so of course it'll happen. This connection cannot escape me. Whoever it is, they are going to be my future spouse. So of course it is going to happen. And I feel like you have transitioned from this period of worrying and wondering and feeling like you're not in control of the situation to this period of coming to life over here where you're more relaxed. You seem more okay with the way things are, and you seem more okay with not knowing exactly how are things going to unfold. So definitely there is this heavy surprise energy over here, but it is in the works. Okay, let's see what other details do we have. We have October, September, funnel that says period of frustration, lessons to be learned, and fire, strong emotion, passionate love or hate. I just got told, group one, that this passionate love or hate, or just love or hate for that matter, that is the kind of relationship you sometimes have with the universe. And the reason why it seems to be a love hate relationship is because, of course, there are bouts of curiosity. You do not get answers, it leaves you frustrated. And then there are these bouts of calmness wherein you feel like, okay, it's okay, fine. If they don't want to tell me, fine. I'll obviously get to know once it unfolds, I'll obviously get to know once it happens. With coming to life over here in shadow, maybe there are some people today in this group who are psychics. You guys can channel messages for others, yet you're not able to channel messages for yourself. I mean, maybe you guys keep doing a lot of love readings for other people and telling them when and how will they meet their spouse, but you're not able to accurately read the same thing for yourself, because it's almost as if the minute your own cards are in front of you, you just cannot interpret them. You just don't know what's happening, and it gives you a lot of frustration, and that is what leads to this love hate relationship. Now the months of October and September are very significant over here, and this also is interesting. Funnel and fire over here tells me that even though, okay, when it says lessons to be learned over here and you already are working on something with coming to life, so I think you've got that base covered, so you needn't worry about that. And with passionate love or hate over here, I think the message is that the fire is already there, like it's already burning. You can feel the warmth, you can't see any source, so that is what frustrates you, but you are able to sometimes pick up on that energy. An additional message for you, group one, especially if you are into manifesting, and if you feel, just in case, if you feel that your manifestations don't work, so what's the missing element? You should really use your emotion, really feel it when you are visualizing or when you're manifesting. So I think that'll give a boost to your manifestation abilities. All right, let's take a look at your tarot cards now. So the first card is for when, then we'll ask what will be your first impression of your future spouse and what will be their first impression of you once you guys have met. So we have the Ace of Pentacles over here. For a lot of you, I think this is the year 2024 when you will be meeting your future spouse, between September to October. These can be your birthdays also. One of you might be an October baby, your spouse might be a September baby, or vice versa. If not this year, then at most 2025. I do not think it's going to extend beyond that. And for those of you for whom it's going to be 2024, I think that is why you have been picking up on this energy that it's there, it's almost here now. We're in March. So of course, as we're speaking, it can seem that, oh, September is still far off, but then we all know how it is. Months just keep passing by, and who knows, before you know it, September would already be there. So for maximum people, this is 2024. For some of you, this is the September to October of 2025. Of course, this is a general reading. I don't know how old you are when you're seeing this reading, so you have to take the timing with a pinch of salt. Now let's see what will be your future spouse's first impression of you. So for that, we have the King of... What will be your first impression of your future spouse? Sorry. So for that, we have the King of Pentacles. When you meet your future spouse for the first time, when you are interacting with them for the first time, I think you will be washed all over with this sense of relief that, okay, I have finally found someone who is all checks in my boxes. Something about your future spouse's energy will seem so commitment ready, so full of surety, not just in themselves, but also in terms of what it is that they're looking for, what it is that they want. Right from the get go, there will not be any mind games, just very clear cut communication. I think you'll really like your future spouse's demeanor and just how they present themselves. Their energy will be very relaxed, very humble, very grounded, even though this is someone who's very successful and very wealthy. Despite that, they will not have any air of attitude or arrogance to them. They'll be very sweet to you. And I think you'll also notice how, especially if you guys are taking a stroll somewhere or walking somewhere, animals will get attracted to your future spouse. And you will take that as a confirmation that this is definitely a good soul then, because animals are very good at getting drawn to people with high vibrational energies. So you like that. I think one of the primary things that you'll find attractive about your future spouse when you're meeting them for the first time is how confident they are about their entire existence. Like, this is not the kind of person who is downplaying themselves or undermining their own authority or, full of sob stories. This is someone who is successful, they are confident, and it shows in their body language, it shows in the way they carry themselves, in the way that they speak. So you'll really like that. And you'll also like how they give this old soul vibe. No matter how what their numerical age is, you will be able to pick up on the fact that they're very mature, very well read, very knowledgeable, have tons and tons of wisdom. And something about their communication style and how they present their ideas to you in a manner that does not negate how you are feeling is what you like. Let me explain that better. So, oftentimes, when you are sharing what you're going through with someone, they will try to give you a logical solution, or they'll try to intellectualize it somehow instead of understanding your feelings, the core of it. Your future spouse is an exception. All right, they will not instantly jump into the logic and rational part of it. They'll help you sit with your feelings, tap into that. And so you'll really like that about them. Now let's see what will be their first impression of you. So for that, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This is very interesting. You might be very talkative that day, all right? You might talk a lot, blabber a lot, talk about lots of things, lots and lots of diverse things. Yet, your future spouse will get this sense from you that you are holding back just a little bit, or maybe you're not telling the whole truth. There are parts of the story that perhaps are painful for you, and so you have chosen to eliminate them and you're just telling the rest of the story. They're very intuitive that way, your future spouse. You are too, so that's nice. You might struggle a little bit with hiding how intimidated you are feeling, and your future spouse will be able to pick up on that as well. The good news is that once they have picked up on it, they will try their level best to make you feel at home, to make you feel very relaxed, and to make sure that you know that it's not like they're extraordinary or that there is any reason for you to be intimidated by them. They're just another person like you. Whatever topics you choose to have a conversation with them on that particular day, the fact that you hold your principles very, very strongly, and nothing, nobody, no external opinion or force can make you look at a situation from a different perspective unless and until you choose to do so. Just how headstrong you are, I should have gone with it. How headstrong you are is something that they'll be able to pick up on. Both of you might be earth signs. That's not necessary. All right. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now, group one. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello group 2, if you guys chose the second image, let's find out how and when are you going to meet your future spouse. I've made another video on who is your future spouse. The link is in the description box. You guys can check out that video as well. So the oracles that came out for you guys are awareness, ancestors, historical connections and purposes, one ring circus. Okay, right off the bat, one message that I am getting, which is of course specific. I think you have met your future spouse. Whoever this is someone whom you have some sort of history with. Maybe this was a situationship that never took off, or someone whom you had briefly dated, then you guys grew apart, but neither could you ever move on from them, and they could never move on from you either. In fact, with Wandering Circus over here, I think this might have been one of those connections wherein it just keeps going and going in circles. Same old patterns keep getting repeated. You guys come together, then some sort of eruption happens, some fight or something may be chaotic, and then again you guys go down different paths and then again come back together. So maybe something like that has been happening for some time now, but that's just for a few of you. For the rest of you who are single, who do not have any history with anybody, nothing of that sort, I think your manifestation or your manifestation abilities are going to play a major role in helping you to come in a union with your future spouse. And somewhere with awareness, I feel like you know that you have this power, and you know the magnitude of this power that you have, because previously too you have manifested a lot of things for yourself, small things and big things both. For example, maybe you manifested the house that you're living in currently, you manifested the job that you currently have. So you know that it is not impossible for you to manifest a spouse, a partner as well. And maybe a lot of you already are on it. Maybe a lot of you already are manifesting for your future spouse. Now, definitely, your ancestors are playing a big role in this. Your passed away loved ones are playing a big role in this. And I think, and this is so lovely with awareness, the message that I just got for you guys, it's like your ancestors and your spouse's ancestors are orchestrating this meeting that has to happen between you and your spouse. Like the manner in which you both come in each other's lives can seem very divinely orchestrated. It can seem as if, okay, even if one thing had happened differently on that particular day, I would have maybe never met my future spouse. It can seem like that. Of course, you will meet your future spouse, but oh, and I just got another message. Your future spouse, even if it is someone new, when you meet them, they might not feel like they are entirely new, because you have had a connection with them that has lasted lifetimes. So basically, the person that you will be marrying in this life, you have married that soul in a past life. And if you've had multiple past lives, then it's always been you and them. Always, it's always been you and them. In fact, if you are one of those people who have tried dating, you've tried dating apps, you've tried being, going on blind dates and whatnot, but nothing ever seems to work out for you guys, no connection seems to last for more than a few months at most, it is because none of those people are meant to stay for longer than necessary in your life. Because nobody is allowed to take the place of this soul whom you've been with for so many lifetimes now. Somewhere with purpose and awareness, I also feel like you and your future spouse have a greater purpose, a combined greater purpose to serve, perhaps towards humanity, towards some other very important cause in this lifetime, which is why too it is very crucial that it is you both who need to come together so that you both can fulfill that purpose together. With One Ring Circus over here, one thing is for sure, that when your future spouse comes in your life, at that time you guys will be extremely, extremely busy doing something all by yourself. I'm not seeing any kind of help being provided to you. So this can be some very important project that you've been assigned at your workplace and you're not getting any sort of help from any of your colleagues or anyone. Or if you're a business owner, this can mean that it's a very busy time for you. You're getting lots of projects, lots of clients are approaching you, and you're just all over the place. And it just comes in your life. You do not see it coming because you do not have the time to see it coming, is another message that I'm getting. I don't think that anybody whom you know is going to play a role in you meeting your future spouse. No living person that you know or are friends with is going to play a role in you meeting your future spouse. It is happening directly from the heavens for this group, which is so, so amazing. Plus, like I said, your manifestation is also playing a key role in this. In fact, I'm being told for some of you, group two, that maybe long, long ago, years ago even, you had a dream about how you will be meeting your spouse. You might not even remember it all that well now, but that is exactly how you both will run into each other or come in each other's lives. With purpose over here, if you know what your life purpose is, awesome. You should start working on it. And it is highly likely that somewhere down the line, while you are serving your life purpose, through that or because of that, you might meet your spouse. If you do not know what your life purpose is, of course you can always consult a reader or watch any general reading and find out what it is. But it seems like the minute you start working on that one thing that is very dear to you, or that is your true calling, so to speak, um, is how you might meet your spouse. Okay, let's take a look at your tea leaves now. We have March, December, tulip that says great passion, and door that says opportunities are waiting for you. So yeah, it almost seems like the minute you are out of this door and enter into the world of something that is very close to you, that you're very passionate about, that is how you might meet your spouse. So for instance, with Wandering Circus over here, let's say that right now you have a 9 to 5 and you've always wanted to start your own business, and you get an opportunity to do that, and you start working on it. You do go about open your own business, and so then during that process, or once you are running your own business, the people you're coming in contact with, that's how you might meet your spouse. There is a strong link between what you like, what your purpose is, and how your spouse comes into your life. And who knows, with great passion over here and purposes, maybe it's a combined passion. Both of you like that, both of you are in that field, or both of you want to be something in the same field. So that's how you guys come in contact with each other. So March is about to get over, but I think this video will get uploaded in March itself. So between March to December of this year, for a lot of you, is when you might meet your spouse. Your birthday might be in December, theirs might be in March, or vice versa. Let's take a look at your tarot cards. So the first card over here will tell us when will you meet. Second card will tell us what will be your first impression of your future spouse, and then the third card will tell us what will be your future spouse's first impression of you. So we have the Ace of Cups over here. The Ace of Cups over here is taking me back to the message that I had channeled for you guys earlier, that a few of you have already met this person. You already have some sort of history with them. The passion that you both had for each other, the love that you both have for each other never died, it never faded. And within March to December of this year, you guys might reconnect. Or for a few of you, 1 month from whenever you watch this video, since it's a timeless reading, is when you guys might reconnect with each other. For the rest of you, I think this can be March to December of this year itself. I don't think it's going to take longer than that. Of course, you are playing a key role in this. A lot of the power lies in your hands over here with going after what it is that you want. And of course, you do not have to worry about it because your ancestors have got your back. Now let's see what will be your first impression of your future spouse. So we have the Three of Wands over here. When you meet your future spouse for the first time, when you interact with them, you might feel like they have their guards up. You might feel like they are hesitating to be fully vulnerable with you. With the Three of Wands, for a few of you, there might be some cultural or linguistic differences between you and your future spouse. So, as you're speaking to them, you might be trying to figure out how to go about that, how to move beyond any barriers as such that might be there. You might also get a sense as you're talking to them that they want to say more, but they're holding themselves back because they do not want to come across a certain way. So you might get this feeling that your future spouse is very mindful of the first impression that they are setting. So, for instance, let's say that you guys are talking about movies and they love to talk about movies. But since it's the first conversation that they're having with you, you will be able to sense some control, or you can feel like they've dialed down their excitement a little bit because they fear that you might think that they are very extra and very all over the place. So that hesitation and that sense of withholding with a little bit is what you can pick while you're talking to them for the first time. And somewhere with the Three of Wands, I'm also being told that their take on things, their opinions, their perspectives about a lot of things might be drastically different from yours. Or it is also possible that the topics that they are choosing to talk to you about might be things that it's like they've opened up a whole new world for you. You do not even know about all those things. And so it seems like you're just listening to them speak because you are trying to absorb all of that information because it is so new for you, but at the same time it is also very exciting and you want to know more about it. Okay, now let's see what will be their first impression of you. So for that we have the Page of Cups. This is really nice. So they will love the fact that you have somehow in today's world managed to retain your innocence. You are still in touch with your inner child. You get excited about things and you show it. So see, there is a stark contrast over here in your personality and your spouses. They are very they're very like mindful of how are you perceiving them. You on the other hand, you do not have any care in the world. You are being yourself, like this is how I am, take it or leave it. You are not at all. Maybe you guys are the kind of people who have a motor mouth. You don't really think before speaking, you just keep on speaking. But that's precisely what they like about you. In fact, with the Page of Cups over here, it is quite possible that your future spouse, when they're seeing you or meeting you for the first time, they might develop an instant crush or an instant liking towards you. The fact that you have the confidence to be yourself, the fact that you have the confidence to speak your mind and not really care about who's watching or how are you being perceived or who's judging you, they learn that from you. And I think it's really nice how you both have something to learn from each other. So they will learn from you that it is okay to let loose. You do not have to have that sense of control and withholding and all of that all the time. And you will learn from them how to regulate yourself sometimes based on the surroundings to give off a better impression. Plus, like I said, they have a lot of new things to, I won't exactly say teach you, but a whole new world to open up for you that you can then experience. So I think your childlike qualities, your innocence, your fun side is going to rub off on them, and their regulation and their maturity is going to rub off on you. Not to say, I'm not saying that you are not mature, but let's say some more of adulting concepts are what you might get to learn as you spend more time with them. All right, group 2. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, group three. If you guys chose the third image, let's find out how and when are you going to meet your future spouse. I've made another reading recently on who is your future spouse, who will you marry. The link is in description, so you guys can check out that video as well. The oracles that came out for you guys are power. Then we have Archangel Raziel, wisdom, inspiration, Akashic records, and home. All right. Okay, so I'm seeing two major elements over here. First of all, with power, I think it's very clear, group three, that a person whom you really look up to, who has a lot of influence on you and your decision making, also perhaps to a certain extent, someone who you have a lot to learn from, someone whom you perhaps admire a lot, and someone who's very influential might play a key role in bringing you and your spouse together. Now, it depends from person to person because we also have home over here. Of course, the second most prominent energy over here is of your family members or your relatives or your cousins acting as the mediums bringing together you and your future spouse. So, it is possible that for some of you, this can be an arranged marriage setup wherein it is the families that are introducing you and your spouse to each other. Just in case you do not like the sound of it, let me tell you over here with Akashic Records, wisdom and inspiration, that this is how it was always meant to be. See, this is your future spouse we're talking about, right? So one way or the other, you have to meet them. One way or the other, your souls have to come in contact with each other. For you guys, it is through people that are close to you, such as your family, your friends who are like family, or your cousins, your relatives, and the sort. And for the rest of you, now with power over here, this can be a family member, a matriarch or a patriarch of the family who has the power. And maybe you come from a family wherein historically also it has always been the matriarch or the patriarch who selects the spouses for the kids. So it can be something like that. For some others, this can be your mentor, someone who's very powerful, very influential, whose work you admire or you work with them. Um, and they want to make sure that you get the best, so they are taking an active interest in looking for a spouse for you, and when they find someone suitable, they bring you both in contact with each other, regardless of whether it is through this powerful person or whether it is through your family. Akashic records and wisdom has made it very clear that this is a destined connection, and both these energies over here, they are just acting, like I said, as mediums. That is it. That is where their role ends. Their role will end at bringing you in contact with your spouse. From there onwards, you and your spouse will write your own stories. You will have the liberty to do that. Not every step of the way will be under observation or it'll be regulated. Nothing of that sort. I think it'll end at you both coming in contact with each other because of these two energies over here. Now, the interesting thing with power and home is that for a few of you, I feel like talks of your marriage have already started in your house. I think your family is already actively looking for a spouse for you. And at the moment, I think it rattles you, it upsets you. You do not like that. You do not like the fact that that discussion is going on at home. Because somewhere with power and home, you are not at peace with where you are in life right now. You think that there's a lot more that you need to do before you can even think about settling down. There's a lot more that you need to do before you can give such a big commitment to someone. So your focus at the moment is on increasing your personal power with home over here. Maybe for a lot of you, you guys are planning to make some big purchase, such as buying a house, and that is where your mind is these days. That is what has your attention these days. So when amidst all of that, your parents or your relatives hound you or keep asking questions, you perceive all of that as pestering. You think you're being pestered and you do not like how that feels. or maybe you snap at them, maybe you get irritated. But I think um, it is rather inevitable that that is how you will be meeting your spouse. But the good news with power is that by the time someone, not someone, by the time your future spouse is brought into your life, like is brought in contact with you, by that time with power and home, you would have already accomplished both these goals of yours. And I'm also being asked to tell you that it's going to happen sooner than you think. This goal of yours, buying a house or whatever other goal this is, it's going to happen sooner than you think. And the minute this is off your to do list, automatically it'll fuel your power, it'll fuel your personal power. Let's take a look at your tea leaves. So we have August and May. We have wind chimes that says peace and harmony, and vines that says seek out information that'll help you. Yeah, so definitely with wine over here, there is this very interconnected energy, such as, let's say, some friend of your mother's telling her about some nice guy, and then your mother trying to sneak that into the conversation that she's having with you somehow. But the sense of this connection being carried to you through these mediums that are your friends, family, relatives, cousins, that is there over here as well. But with peace and harmony, the current frustration or agitation that you feel when talks like this happen around you, by the time your future spouse arrives in your life, that would have dissipated. Why? Because by that time, you would have accomplished your goal, you would be sitting in your power, and so you will have a more open, you'll be more open to the whole idea of meeting someone that way. And with peace and harmony, it'll come as a welcome surprise for your family also that you actually agreed to meet someone that they had introduced you to. And of course, with peace and harmony over here, you too will feel very calm, very nice, even as you're speaking to that person. Like any little bit of hesitation that was there in your heart, once you actually speak to your future spouse, all of that will go away. For a few of you, maybe between May to August of this year itself is when you meet your spouse. Their birthday might be in May, yours in August, or vice versa. Let's see some more information. So the first card over here is will tell us when will you meet them. Second card will tell us what will be your first impression of your future spouse, and then the third card will tell us what will be your future spouse's first impression of you. So we have the Two of Cups over here. Oh, it's interesting. We're in March right now, and May is just 2 months away. So, for a lot of you, I think it is May when you are meeting your future spouse within 2 months. Since this is a general reading, it can be 2 months from whenever you watch this video. Does not necessarily have to be this March to May timeline. 2 months from whenever you see this video. But for a few of you, I'm being told that it can be within the next 2 years also, not after 2 years, within the next 2 years, with May and August having significance. For some of you, of course, it can be February also. And I really like that this is the Two of Cups over here, because not only does this tell me that you have a soulmate connection with your future spouse, but this also tells me that there's great compatibility between you guys. No matter how diverse your backgrounds are, no matter how diverse your upbringing has been, your connection, your compatibility, and your chemistry, it's very organic, it's very seamless. Okay, now let's see what will be your first impression of your spouse. So we have the King of Cups for it. Now, since this is the King of Cups, I think it makes sense why we had the Peace and Harmony card for you guys come out earlier. Your future spouse is someone who is emotionally very mature, and they know how to deal with the person based on how that person is feeling. They can pick up on it. They're very intuitive that way. So when you meet your future spouse for the first time, you will instantly like the fact that they are very attentive. Like, they're not looking here and there while they're talking to you. They are actually absorbing all of that information. They are using cues from your sentences to keep the conversation flowing. They are displaying the fact that they are emotionally mature. Something about their dressing sense, and I'm being told particularly they'll smell really good, so that is another thing that you'll like about them. I'm also being told you'll absolutely love the way that they smile. Their nature and personality will seem very, very soothing and healing and gentle. I'm also being told that your future spouse's touch is very healing. So when you're meeting them for the first time, and let's say you guys go in for a handshake or a hug or whatever it is, you might not be able to explain it to someone, but this is what you will experience in your body, a sense of calmness running in your veins. That's what it will feel like. And maybe before the meeting you're very hesitant and you're very restless and nervous in general, of course, and especially this is someone new whom your family has asked you to meet, you might feel that nervousness. But when you meet them, and the fact that they're sitting over here as the king of cups, that is why once the conversation starts, you'll start feeling at peace and you'll really like it. You like the fact that they are able to somehow put the noises in your mind on mute. Okay, now let's see what will be their first impression of you. All right, so for that, we have the magician. Your future spouse, when they are meeting you for the first time, they'll be very intimidated by you. They will think that you are someone who's very, very smart, someone who knows who they are, knows what it is that they want, and there will definitely be an element of mystery to you. They will not be able to crack your code the first time around. It'll take them a couple of meetings to get to know you better, for sure. But they will be hooked to you, is what I'm being told. Hooked onto you, like right off the first meeting. They'll feel like you're someone who is very has a good command over what they're speaking. The way that you express your emotions, the way that you express your thoughts, they'll really like it. They'll also get the sense from you that you somehow just know how to get things done. You know how to go about life. You're very street smart. You do not have just bookish knowledge, but you also know a lot about how the world works and how to make your way through things and through situations. So that's another thing that they like about you. They'll feel like your personality is very offbeat, it's very eccentric, it's very unusual, but enduring. They would have never met anybody like you until they meet you. And that'll be one of the key reasons why they'll get so hooked onto you, and why they'll want to meet you again and again, to be able to understand you better, because they've never met anybody like this before. All the little elements of your personality combined create a person who is refreshingly different for them. And so they like that, they love that about you. All right, so these are all the messages that I have for you right now, group 3. If you guys like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here, and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.